guys and gals, Never here from Drake Queen Game, and a 7 on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of NeveN, Akhet's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! Not to mention the fact that if the side effects of our brands are indeed due to the fact that our bodies can't withstand their power, won't that be even more of a problem if we gain more power? And if that's the price I have to pay... No, I don't want that. I don't care. My power only exists to protect the Aknawak. Nothing else. As long as you leave my people alone, I have no reason to fight you, nor to help you. It seems to be the end of the conversation. So what? Some of us are prepared to kill the others? Is that it? Loster, at least, is clearly not against the idea. As for the others, how can I find out? How do I know that anything that comes from them is true? And how do I know they're not playing a part, pretending to be someone else? For fuck's sake. My gaze settles on Celothan. The weasel is now curled up in its seat, apparently asleep. Does it have any idea what's going on? Is it even able to understand what is being said? It's just an animal. It doesn't deserve this. No more than the two kids who got those brands. No more than I do. It looks like our time is running out. Some of you are starting to wake up. The next time you cross paths will be in the awakened world. I have no doubt that your meetings will make great stories. So, get stronger to survive. And fight. Tess will be delighted to pick up the fragments of your existences. New word in notes. Oh yeah, notes. Okay, let's see. What is the new word? What is the new word? Tess. God of Death, the one we all meet sooner or later. He welcomes us into his kingdom where we remain forever with the people who love us. I mean, that's not bad! I wish it would tell me what the fucking new word was. Anyway. Alright. After a flash of light, I suddenly find myself lying in bed and gasping for air. What the fuck was that? Was it a dream? No, it was far too real, too tangible. The expression on Tess's face suddenly comes to mind. The way he managed to terrify me by simply laying his eyes on me. There's no way I'm making that up. But if everything I've seen is real, if none of it is an invention of my imagination, that means I'm in danger. And not just a little. Everyone knows where I am, and everyone knows that I only recently got my brand. They know I haven't mastered it. If any of them want to increase their power, I'm the obvious target. No, stop. Think for a moment. Sure, I'm probably one of the least experienced avatars, but I'm also at the heart of Frostfang, which means I'm protected by Eon, Lusk, Maleborn, and a whole bunch of other warriors, each more powerful than the last. Even if the opponent's brand is stronger, they'll still manage to win. Right? The fight between Gilliant and Tenoch comes to mind. Even if he didn't win, the lizard gave the captain a hard time, and he wasn't trying to kill him, just to defeat him, which is probably more difficult. The question is, could we defeat another avatar? And do I want to put everyone in danger for my safety? Despite everything that's happened, most people here have treated me well. Is it really fair to put them in harm's way? And is it right to put Akhet in peril? My heart sinks at the thought. I've only just found someone who makes me happy again, and I certainly don't want to cause him any pain. Maybe I should just leave. Run away from everything. Maybe I should abandon the castle and take the roads. I'd be alone again, for their sake, so as not to put them in trouble. What is certain is that in doing so, I will lose everything I have here, and I'll be betraying their trust. I'll break Akhet's heart. Is that really what I want? What to do? Oh, that is a big decision. Alright, it's going to be on page 2. Okay, stay. As I leave my room, I take a few seconds to think and refocus. I can't just barge into the royal bedroom in the middle of the night and hope they'll let me through. Royal bard or not, I don't have access to the private quarters of the kings just like that. But Tenoch might be able to help me, especially since he was there too. He's involved in the whole thing, and he probably doesn't want it to end in a bloodbath any more than I do. Well, I suppose. I hope so. I climb the stairs to the floor as quickly as I can, and it takes me only an instant to find myself outside the ambassador's room. At first, I think about banging on his door before realizing that for the time being, it's probably best if as few people as possible know what's going on. So, I knock as quietly as I can. I don't doubt for a second that he's already awake anyway. The door opens almost immediately, and I find myself facing Tenoch, who is giving me a concerned and possibly slightly annoyed look. But he is most definitely not surprised. Eloise, shit. I know exactly what he means. The fact that I'm here in front of his door is confirmation that the dream was more than a dream. This is all real. We need to tell Eon and Lusk. We need to explain to them what's going on. Tenoch seems to hesitate for a moment, and the reality of the situation abruptly dawns on me. Friendly as he is first and foremost a Khazalian. His country probably takes priority over any other concern. I can't even imagine what he's thinking right now. Would he be able to kill me? He seems to be making his mind up quickly, though. Yes, you're right. We must go. The sooner the better. He begins to make his way down the corridors towards the royal wing, obviously expecting me to follow him. We don't hide anything from them. We say absolutely everything there is to say, everything you remember down to the smallest detail. Isn't that going to cause you problems? What do you mean? With the Empire. He takes a second to think before smiling at me. We have been working for years to create a lasting alliance between our two countries. It is high time we made it official. Why now? Haven't you noticed? What are you talking about? The Avatars. I think a fair few of them are from Makad. The shock stops me in my tracks for a brief moment. If Makad has control of the majority of the Avatars, it could radically change the balance of power, which makes me realize why we have to conclude an alliance as soon as possible. Second, y'all. Water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Okay. As we reach the entrance to the royal wing, I see two guards guarding the main entrance, a wolf and a bull. They give us a surprised look before blocking us both. Lord Tenoch, Lord Eloise, what a surprise to see you here so late. Oh, excuse me. I request an audience with their majesties. I take note, my lord. The kings will be notified when they awaken. I fear we have no time to wait until then. I cannot wake their majesties unless it is an emergency. Good, because this is an emergency. In that case, you'll have to explain to me the reasons for... Oh, by Argon! Listen, you've got a choice. Either you go and warn Aeon and Lusk now, or you explain to them why they had to wait all night to get a vital piece of information. Lord Tenoch, please understand that I'd do what they ask if I were you. I doubt they'd be here at this hour without a good reason. We turned to look at Mielborn, who was staring at us quizzically. You're loud. Woke me up. But come, go and tell my fathers that we are waiting for them in the council chamber. Very well, Lord Mielborn. The bull salutes to the prince before disappearing into the corridor behind him, leaving the wolf as the only guard as we make our way to the council chamber. Do you mind if I ask what's going on? It'll be easier to explain once everyone is here. I hope it's really important. It is, I promise. The bear gives me a sidelong glance before quickly inspecting me from top to bottom. Are you okay? You look a bit shaken up. It's complicated. You'll understand better once we've explained everything. Are you sure it'll be alright? Yeah, don't worry about me. The rest of the way is spent in silence until we reach the council chamber. We only have to wait there a few minutes before Eon and Lusk enter to join us. They look absolutely exhausted. This better be worth it. I know it's the middle of the night, my lord, but this is important. Tenoch's more serious tone than usual seems to make it immediately clear to them that this is in no way a joke. Explain what is going on. You have our attention. Tenoch then begins to recount our shared dream. I intervene from time to time, adding details or things that I noticed and he didn't, as well as recounting the brief moment I spent alone with Tess. Eon, Lusk, and Mielborn listen to us attentively and never interrupt us, except to ask for a clarification here or there. I can notice, however, that the expressions get increasingly somber with each new detail. As you know, I have been investigating brands with unique properties such as mine for some time now. All this is consistent with the information available to me. And you had no idea of the existence of the Avatar of Tess until now? There are indeed tales and legends about Anthracans who can talk to the dead or even bring them back to life, but I've always mistaken them for children's stories. And you say that most of the Avatars are in Makad's territory. Do you have a map? It will be easier. Mielborn gets up to rummage in one of the cupboards in the room, returning with a rolled-up piece of parchment. He spreads it out on the central table, revealing a large map of Telsin. So, here is what we know for sure. The avatars of NeveN and Argon are here in Frostfang. Nothing new there. I watch him jot down a few words on the map. The name of each god, I suppose. Oh, we also know that Tessel is in Kadir. He gave us his name while all this was happening. It was the Withir Aemon, I believe. Aemon. I know him, or at least I've heard of him. Is he going to be a problem? It's hard to say. He's well on his way to be the next God King given the size of his brand, but his ideas aren't really popular among the major Makadian families. He wants to soften the rules around slavery. And And on top of that, he's practically a child. He's only just turned 18. Shit, I suspected he was young, but still. That explains why he acted the way he did, I guess. Are there others whose allegiance we are certain of? Shuri. He's in its at the moment. I've met him before when I was trying to understand the strangeness of our marks. He's also under 20, and not at all a fighter. But he will do what is asked of him. Marani is also in Kazal, but she is part of the Free Tribes. She will only act if her people are directly threatened. They don't care about the rest of the world. As for the Avatar of Arakar, we know about him already. He's an independent pirate, isn't he? We can try to buy his services. He'll obey just for money? Maybe. Other arrangements can also be offered if necessary, but we're not there yet. For now, we need to make sure we know everyone's loyalties. Regarding the others, I'm convinced that Ilaria, Garani, and Lost are in Makad. I don't know exactly what their role is, but I think they live there. And how would you know that? I know that the incident that coincides with the appearance of the Bride of Lustra happened in the Makadian Desert. Oh, and we heard Ilaria's avatar talking. I didn't understand what he was saying, but I've heard Akhet speak often enough to recognize the Makadian language. As for Garane, she's an armadillo. A what? A sort of rat with a shell, if you like. I've never seen this species. You only come across them in Makad or South Kvazal, and from the way she spoke to the Withir, I think she's used to addressing them appropriately, which means she's probably a slave. That would make 4 avatars potentially loyal to Makad. I don't think Ilaria obeys them. He seemed to hate them. If he's a slave, whether he hates them or not, it won't make much difference. He'll have to obey anyway. Any other information? Even the smallest detail can be useful to us. Tess spoke to me in Frostian when we were alone, but he made it quite clear that he didn't intend to intervene directly. Oh, and Manasa spoke it too, before she made sure we could all understand each other. So, potentially 2 uncontrolled avatars in our territory. Do you think they could be on our side? I wouldn't count on it. They both seemed keen to stay out of this. And what about the last of the forgetful ones? Seluthan? Tenoch and I glanced at each other briefly. It's a bit complicated. It's an animal. I don't even know if it understood what was happening. I have no information on that. It went completely unnoticed, and I don't expect you to know anything about it either. A brief moment of silence falls over the room as we look at each other. There's a bit of confusion in their eyes, but eventually we go back to the map. It's more than obvious from the notes that Makad controls far more avatars than either Frostfang or Kazal. Tenoch, I need an honest answer. Is what you showed us during your fight with Gilliant the best you can do? The lizard seems to think for a moment as he sighs. It's the best I can do if I don't want to kill my opponent. If his survival is not at stake, no, I can do far more damage than that. Shit. It's going to make a lot of things a lot worse. Not to mention that they all know where to find me. All eyes are now on me. Everyone must know about my brand by now, and that makes me a prime target, especially if they suspect I haven't had the time to practice using my powers. A question suddenly haunts me. A question I was hoping I'd never have to ask myself again. Does this change anything about how I'm going to live? Eon and Lusk exchange a few glances before the bear returns to me with a smile. The bear. No, I don't think it's necessary right now. We're not going to do anything about the situation. I didn't say that. We'll double the security around him. I think that the best thing to do is to keep a low profile for now. To hide our royal bard after revealing him as openly as yesterday would seem strange. But it's risky, isn't it? After all, it could be anyone. Not really. Most of them are species that we rarely see here, so it'll be easy to spot them. Not to mention that they still have to get here in the first place. They also know you're not alone. To attack you is to attack Frostfang. Even though we're not avatars, they know they'll have to deal with Lusk and I. He gives me a big, confident smile. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout-out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all if I do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. And to our silver tier patron, Cade Summer, thank you going above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks to our 2 gold tier patrons, Zeke and Toby. Y'all are awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our not safe for work contents as little as $5, alrighty? I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.